Because we're asynchronous, I want to make sure that you have just watched the videos about Net Promoter Score. The coding for our results for recommendation of primary provider or the ultimate question is on a scale of 1 to 5 versus 1 to 10. So I want you to consider that. I'm going to show you how to do this, but I'm not going to give you the answer to this. So 1 to 5 is our current scale. And remember, Net Promoter Score is on a scale of 1 to 10, where they have the detractors, passives, and promoters. And I'll leave it to the video for that. So let's go ahead and answer this question. Are women more likely than men to recommend their primary providers to someone that they know? So what we need to understand is that which questions are the gender and which questions are recommend to a primary provider. Recommend your primary provider. So we're going to do a pivot as it pertains to those two questions to compare the results. So starting with row 3, because remember we have the labels that we put on here, shift control down, all the way down to the very end. Okay. And we're going to create a pivot out of our data that we have. Going all the way over to the left or the right, my other left. Insert. Pivot table. And I'm going to insert that on a new sheet. Okay. So before we go to sheet number 12 to do our pivot, let's look at which questions we're looking for. So we're looking for the questions. We go to the survey itself. Might be easier. We'll stay here. We'll just say recommend provider. Well, provider. Okay, it looks like it's a provider, and let's go to the next one. And I'm searching, essentially. There it was, question number 2. Likelihood to recommend the primary provider. Okay, so we want question 2, likelihood to recommend the primary provider. And then we also want to gender, which is question number 10. Okay, so back to sheet number 2. So what we're looking for, and remember, for our survey, we take to 5 for our survey. So it's different than at promotion. So here we are on sheet 12, and we're going to click on the pivot table. We're going to pull in question number 2. Likelihood to recommend the primary provider, and we count that. Let's make sure it's counting. Value field settings, and we get summing, so we change it to count. And then we're also going to look for question number 10, the gender of the head of household. We're going to pull that down. So 1 is males and 2 is females. So it looks like mostly males answered this question. So what we're looking for in this particular item is we want to know how many have actually recommended their primary provider. So let's pull this over to columns and let's look at question number, we'll use this one for count. Okay, and make sure that this is, again, a sum. If it's a sum, we want to change it to count. Back to count. Okay. Okay, so men versus women, and this is your counts as it pertains to males versus females, because those are the answers, males and females. 1's is males, 2's is females. And you can see the results. So I would like for you to come up with what your Net Promoter Score, which is on a scale of 1 to 10, which ones would be Net Promoter Score on this particular scale, and which are most likely, is it males or females, most likely to recommend. Okay, thanks.